the idea of building or rebuilding Africa's rural communities is something that I've worked on for quite some time. And I have applied the 10 pathways in the book that I wrote on being African on the idea of building sustainable, dynamic, viable rural communities. Actually, in essence, the 10 pathways are all ingredients of what it takes to build a truly African life. We just have to modernize our culture, our way of doing things, but we don't have to abandon the pathways. The 10 pathways are dynamic in their own right, and they can be interpreted and reinterpreted by subsequent generations and ensure that we apply these pathways on a situation as we have it at the time. So the first pathway, which is basically know where you are coming from, is in essence a very spiritual pathway, because in one sense it's about discovering and rediscovering yourself based on your roots, on where you are coming from, where you have come from, loving your ancestors, your parents, your relatives, everything that makes you human. Because after all, we are human because we have other people around us. The importance of knowing where you're coming from in Africa today is actually that we've proved to ourselves over the last 50 years as Africans that it is not sufficient to have political liberation from colonialism. We've proved to ourselves that you can actually have political liberation and 50 years later you could still be lost. We've now proved to ourselves as Africans that after attaining political liberation, we did not realize that we had already started on a path which was not African, but we just didn't realize it. And we did not even look or examine, do we go back? How do you go back? Life is not about going back. Life is about moving forward, making new history. So when I say know where you are coming from, it's not for you to reinvent history, but rather to just understand sufficiently about your culture, your roots, what made your people great. The ones that brought you into this world were great people. So what made them great? This is free wisdom that you get from that. And it's pride. It's something that you carry with pride all along.